Hey guys, how's it going? It's Douglas here at Drumboy Productions, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a look at some new Halloween scores. Unfortunately, these are kind of going to be at the end of the season, so this may be coming out a little bit after Halloween, because stuff's a little bit slow coming in the mail, but this is just rounding out the end of the season scores for me. So first up, I have something very exciting to show you guys. I'm really happy about this. A while back, I had to let go of a few Scream masks to help out with some medical bills, and just to kind of help out with bills in general. And some of those masks happen to be my Gen 1 and Gen 2 fluorescent sets. I really like my Gen 1 set more than my Gen 2 set because the Gen 1 set was the first one that I completed. These mean a lot to me because it was a lot of work to assemble this trio at first, because finding Gen 1s or Gen 2 colored masks at that time was really rare. Very few people had them, and the people that did have them did not want to sell them. I really tried for a long time. I kind of pestered a few different people that had pinks, and I was like, you know, here's some money, please, I really want one. And nobody would sell one. It really took me finding one on eBay. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through the stories of each one of these masks. I'm going to go ahead and show them to you. But before I get into that, I want to give a quick shout out to my homie Dylan Cloud, aka Horror Addict 97. Dylan actually picked these up from the guy that I sold them to. I was supposed to be able to get these back originally, but they ended up being sold to Dylan. I didn't really get an opportunity to get them back, but Dylan promised me, he said, look, I know you really love these masks. I know how hard you worked to put these together. If I go to sell them, I'll sell them back to you. And recently I had the money to get them back. Dylan needed some money for some unfortunate circumstances, and I went ahead and picked them back up, so I'm really happy to have them back here now. So yeah, if you guys aren't following Dylan, go check his stuff out. He's a pretty awesome collector, collects a lot of Scream and Ghostface stuff, but also just a lot of other horror stuff. So in general, if you're a horror fan and you just enjoy seeing people's collections, masks, shit like that, go check him out. Alright guys, and here we go. I'm going to run you through this in order that I got these and tell you the story on them. So the first mask we have here is the Gen 1 Orange Fantastic Faces. This was a really lucky pickup, but this was my first find. This was the first one I was able to obtain. I think it was Little Shop of Horrors actually had 3 of these, and they were all slightly varying in color, but this one was just really vibrant. And it's still, to this day, out of all the Gen 1 oranges I've seen, this one just has a crazy, like, neon color to it. Some of them are a little bit more pastel, and I don't know what it is, but this just has that really strong orange pigment, and I love the shape of this one. And of course it was my first fluorescent Ghostface, so it's just really special to me. So here's the second pickup, and this was one of my favorites, of course. This was the pink Gen 1, and it looks a little bit different color in this lighting because it's low lighting, but I figured, you know, it's Halloween time, I'm going to keep it spooky. But yeah, this one was like perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't know what it is. The shape of it is just gorgeous. I love the shape of the eyes, the shape of the mask overall. And it was really mint condition. It still has very flat cotton streamers, and it's that really soft pajama hood style. So the story on finding this one was pretty impeccable. I think it was late one night and Scout and I were playing Fortnite, and I decided to check eBay as usual after winning a match. And this one popped up. It was a few $100s, so it wasn't like a cheap score, but the shape on it was perfect, and I had been offering more money than that to people to try and get them to sell theirs, and nobody would. So this was my first pink. This was my pink Fantastic. Of course, I did score the pink Fearsome before the Fantastic, and I would hope to maybe get that one back one day, but this one was pretty freaking awesome. And the last one out of this trio I scored, this was the hardest one to find for some reason, which was kind of strange because I remember at the time, out of the people that did have fluorescence, it seemed that the most common color was the green. Most people had green masks, and you didn't really see that many oranges, and pinks were obviously the most rare. But for a really long time, I could not find one. Of course, no one was willing to sell them. The few people that had them loved them. Of course, the green is most people's favorite because of Stab. And this one was also just a really late night score checking eBay. I think I was about to take a shower, and I was like, better check eBay one last time before I hop in the shower. And there it was. It was for a pretty good price. It was still, I think, a couple $100s, but even at the time, I couldn't find any, you know, so I was willing to pay whatever. I had the money at the time, went ahead and pulled the trigger. And the thing about this one to me, let me pull the light a little bit closer. The eye on this side, you can see just how hand-cut that is. You know, no eyeliner, the shape of it's just all distorted. I love that stuff because people, whenever they paint on the eyeliner, it for some reason kind of masks the hand-cut shape. You don't notice this, but on the fluorescent masks, it just shows really well. And that's one of the reasons why I love these so much. Dylan, yet again, thank you so much for reuniting me with these masks. It feels so good.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Alright guys, and we're back. So originally I intended to show all this stuff off in just one video. I was hoping to open it all on the same day. However, the post office has been delivering things just kind of whenever they want to. Some stuff coming early, some stuff coming late, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what we have today. So recently I was perusing eBay in the late evening as usual, and I look for a wide variety of stuff, some masks, some costumes, some other pieces in between, and I also happen to collect old Halloween decorations. And I happened upon a few decorations, and I'll go ahead and get into this bag and show you guys what we have. Needless to say, I actually didn't know that all this stuff was going to be coming. I would have bought this lot just for the two pieces up front, which you guys can't see because of the glare, so let's go ahead and pull them out and I'll tell you why I was so excited. Alright, so I've pulled the first two pieces out here, and these are some Fun World pieces, and something actually I didn't realize is it turns out everything in this lot is Fun World, which is really, really awesome, but these pieces in particular are what interested me the most and what made me just go ahead and buy the whole lot. So, the first thing we have is some old Fun World 30-inch hanging decorations, and it looks like we have four different styles, one being a little bat that says Happy Halloween, of course a pumpkin, a little ghost with a spider on his robe there, and of course a witch riding on a broomstick, and these are like some hanging streamers. So some of you out there may know, but most of you probably don't, but this black and orange style, as we call it the castle style of packaging, was something used in the early 90s, and this would have been probably during the same time period that the Fantastic Faces were out, but there were several different packaging types that Fun World used, and this seems to be one of the earliest types for a lot of their earlier Halloween decorations. Very seldom do you find stuff packaged with this color, and very seldom do you find it still sealed, and this stuff is sealed and brand new. Now the second piece is what really sparked my interest, and this is really awesome. So what we have here are some 30-inch streamer decorations like the last ones, but these glow in the dark. I've never seen these before, but obviously from the same time period, a little bit different color packaging, but still the same style, still got the castle down there, everything else. And as I was scrolling by, I noticed, this seems to be a bunch of different characters, really awesome, looks very reminiscent of the Fantastics. And if you look closer, you can see that's the Weeping Ghost. One of the earliest iterations of the Weeping Ghost. This would have been before Scream, so this is some pre-Scream Ghostface artwork that was done by Fun World, and it was actually done by the lady who actually designed the Fantastic Faces line. And if we look here, of course, you see the Weeping Ghost. This looks to be the skull mask with shroud, which was like a plastic mask from the Fantastic Faces line. This character we've never seen before. Obviously, it was not a mask that was designed or released or anything. And over here, if it'll come into focus, this looks an awful lot like the Fantastic Faces Grinning Skull mask. And in fact, it is. If you look here, it's a little bit different from the actual design, but let me grab the actual mask and give you guys a side-by-side. So there you go. Other than the noses being a little bit different, you can tell this is supposed to be the same style mask. It's got the same shape eyes, teeth, of course, everything else. But yeah, this stuff is really awesome, super vintage Fun World pieces, and like I said, this may be one of the very first artwork pieces done of Ghostface. Obviously at this time he was still the Weeping Ghost, Scream hadn't come out yet, but that's really awesome, and that actually makes it cooler, the fact that it was pre-Scream Ghostface artwork. But as cool as those are, we actually have several more pieces in the bag. So this actually wasn't even shown in the listing, and I'm kind of surprised somebody held on to this for so many years, but this is the original cardboard header tag for the old Fun World Halloween decorations. And let's see, as you guys may be able to see there, that small black oval is the old school Fun World logo. And there's actually a second one in here, so there might be two sets of decorations. Let's have a look. So the first piece I'm pulling out here actually isn't a Fun World piece. This is a Hallmark piece, I guess, and there are two of them. I was wondering why it was so thick. Yeah, we have just a ghost here, kind of chilling out with a pumpkin, little spider there. Yeah, just really awesome, old school Hallmark wall decoration. And then for some reason we have four of these. They're all exactly the same, just basic paper masks. I'll probably put one on the wall as like a wall decoration, but yeah, just quite a few of these old pirate masks. And here's another really adorable piece. It appears to be a scarecrow, little mouse there in his hat. He's got a cherry nose. And I actually remember this one. I think I saw this in school back in the day. I want to say this is definitely one of the types of decorations they would have put in school, so No telling, no telling. What do we got next? We got a couple of Fun World style witches. So maybe there are 2 of every type of decoration that was in the Fun World bag. But yeah, just a basic witch stirring her cauldron, and it looks like she's about to drop a little frog in there. Don't know how well you guys can see that. Another really cute scarecrow decoration here. Of course, a little trick-or-treater scarecrow getting ready to trick-or-treat, and there's a pumpkin there kind of looking a little spooked out. I don't know why. But yet again, just another wholesome decoration. And here we have a trick-or-treating witch with her broomstick and, of course, a spooky bat. Yet again, 2 of these as well. And here's another awesome piece, just a spooky tree stump with some eyes gazing up at an owl, and of course there's some ghosts around the base of it, and a pumpkin in there. Gotta give it that extra Halloween feel, and if you're not putting a pumpkin in it, you know, is it really Halloween? And did you guess it? There's 2 of them, that's right. Well guys, I got some bad news. The cat's out of the bag. Yeah, that was a bad pun. That hurt even myself, but of course we got a nice little spooky black cat there on top of some pumpkins. Alright, we're getting to the last handful of decorations, and we have, yet again, 2 spooky little jack-o'-lanterns from the same set. 2 spooky owls, yet again, from the same set. Nice little ghost here playing in a pumpkin patch with some bats, and nice little pumpkin here. I guess it's a scarecrow to some degree. He's kind of stuffed, but he's got a pumpkin head in a pumpkin patch, so I mean, you know, whatever. Vintage Halloween stuff. But yeah, really stoked and excited to add all those to the collection, so let's move into the next piece. Alright guys, I'm back to finish up the rest of the video, and if it looks like I just woke up, it's because I did. So it's now currently past Halloween, and I've received a few more scores at the end of the season. I have a few more coming that haven't quite made it yet, but I'll just save those for another video. So this item is another throwback piece, and a piece that I used to own that is now returned home. Here is what I would consider one of the nicest condition Fantastic Faces Gen 1 masks I've ever seen. So I used to own 2 really nice Fantastic Faces. Super clean, super white face with no retro brighting or vinyl dye needed. Just super clean white. Still glows well, great condition, shrouds in great condition, etc. I owned 2 of those at the same exact time, and it would have been this one and then the other one. The other one you guys have actually seen a video on the channel. It's just on the Gen 1 Fantastic Faces. It was the one the lady had displayed in her yard. That was a piece I never wanted to sell, and it was in truly perfect condition. This one does have rolled up streamers, but the other one had flat streamers. That's really the only condition difference between them. Obviously they're painted a little bit different and cut a little bit different, but other than that, they were both in immaculate shape. And that was another one of those pieces that got sold to the gentleman who bought the Gen 1 fluorescence, and unfortunately I think he was trying to wear it at some point or something, and managed to damage the shroud and just really destroy the mask. I mean, the mask itself was okay, but other than that, no longer the best condition Fantastic. And I actually had to sell this one at the same time, but luckily I sold it to a friend who did uphold his side of the deal, and he had to let it go recently, so he decided to sell it back to me, and I am super glad to add this to the collection. The shape on it is just amazing. I love the bends, I love the folds. The eye cuts themselves are actually very small. It just has super thick eyeliner painted on. And I wouldn't say the shape of this mask is super close to any of the ones seen in the film. However, it's a super clean, super nice, lovely shaped Gen 1 Fantastic Faces, and one of my favorite pieces, and I'm glad to have it back home. And next up is a piece that isn't technically for me, but since it's in the collection, I wanted to show it as well. Here we have another one of the Cryptic Gauze masks that was from the very same lot as the one that I picked mine up from, so this would have been one of the 18. This, as well as the next 3 masks I'm about to show you, were all hookup pieces from my homie Mike Covert. He ended up picking up one of these, and like I said in the original video, he's the one that tipped me off about the person listing them, so I was able to get one myself. And Mike recently had to sell this to fund another piece, and my friend Jeremy, the same person that I just got that perfect Gen 1 back from, has been wanting a Cryptic Gauze for years. It's been his holy grail for a very long time, and as much as he liked the copy I had, the tag was bent on it, so he's like, hey, I know you want this Gen 1 back, so let's do some part cash, part trade, and let me get one of those Cryptic Gauze masks. So, because I still wanted to own one myself, I ended up hitting up Mike and purchasing his from him for a very fair price, I think $175 plus ship. And yeah, it came in, and Mike even threw in another mask with it, and there were 2 more pieces that I had purchased that were included. But this one is a little bit different than my other one. This one actually has super thick, super rigid vinyl. I mean, like, completely rigid. The mask is not bending at all. The other one was a much softer vinyl, but yeah, still a really, really nice cryptic gauze. Wonderful, wonderful spooky cloth or creepy cloth or whatever you want to call it. The cryptic gauze. But yeah, still a wonderful mask, and I'm super happy to help out another friend score one of their grails. And in the meantime, I'm also getting back an old piece of mine, so that makes me super happy as well. Overall, just a win-win situation, except for that glow star because the mask still doesn't glow. Alright, and next up we have a couple, I think 2010 or maybe late Asus EU stamp masks. Mike ended up finding these in a lot of other masks he was picking up, and he's like, hey, since I'm buying these other masks, do you want me to grab these for you as well? And I think they were pretty cheap, not too expensive, and I said, fuck it, why not, go ahead, pick them up. I didn't even have an Asus at the time, other than my signed copies. And the strange thing about both of these copies is they have weird stains all over them. I'm not entirely sure what they're from. This one has very minimal staining, it's almost not noticeable. However, this one is quite severe, and let's see if I can show you guys up close. I don't know how well that comes off, but there's like dark purplish staining in the vinyl all over the mask. Overall, it makes it look pretty ugly as far as like a normal Ghostface would be concerned. But some of the patterns on the face are kind of interesting, so I'm not sure. I might take one of them and paint it white like the movie and leave the other one normal, or I might leave them both normal. It doesn't really matter. They both still smell very, very strongly of vanilla, and they're not terrible looking masks. It just is a defect. And the last piece to send us off is somewhat of a disappointing piece, but still a nice mask. Here we have what I believe to be an Asus. This one seems to be more so the shape of an Asus, and overall, this is a really nice mask. This is one that Mike picked up from a separate lot, and he was just like, hey, I have this extra piece laying around, you want me to just throw it in as a gift? And I was like, sure, why not? The more the merrier. So I'm probably going to try and get at least one untagged copy of each mask type that was used in the films and get those displayed in order up here at the top. But other than some close-ups, there's really not much left to discuss, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful October. And if you didn't, tell me why. If you did, tell me why. Did you score anything crazy or awesome this season? Because guys, this has legitimately been my best season. Usually Halloween seasons are not where the scores are for me because most of my shopping comes from online or from knowing other collectors and stuff like that, doing a lot of trades here and there. But this year, I actually had some really, really amazing scores, including a few pieces that I haven't shown you guys yet because they're not Scream or Ghostface related. But you'll have to wait and see those in the future. But I love you guys, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time.